Part 1. Survival of the fittest by the denial or withdrawal of resources. The content for this podcast comes from my book, Advanced Success Secrets. You can obtain a copy of each of my 8 bestsellers at alexhammerbooks.com. That is ALEXHAMMERBOOKS.com. Say that you need money, so you go look for a job. As an employee, am I likely to hire you out of charity? Probably not. So in order for me to give you the financial resources of a paycheck, you have to the employer, meet his or her criteria of contribution ability for hiring. Otherwise, the resources will be withheld. If I want to be president of IBM, but I'm fresh out of high school with no college and no work experience, those resources that go along with the president being IBM are likely to be withheld from me. If I want to marry the world's most beautiful available model, tossing aside for a moment whether a consensus on such an individual would ever be possible, but I am an unemployed 69-year-old janitor with $46 and change in the bank who has lost my hair, most of my teeth, and is a good 100 pounds overweight to boot, those marriage or dating resources, i.e. opportunities, from this top model are likely to be withheld from me. Life is a competition for resources, and the survival of the fittest element indicates that the greater resources we can effectively control, including but not limited to money, the more successful that we will be. I realize that this seems like Success 101, that is, everybody already knows that, but the implications for the simple principle are almost endless. Here's one. The wealthy don't need to be aggressive to you, they can be passive aggressive. They can merely ignore you, especially if you do not have something you are offering them that they want. Of course, this is why you could call a world-famous individual 100 times as an average Joe or Jane and gain nothing more than a bunch of form letters, and possibly a restraining order after the 45th call. Smiley face. Here's another. We're not prostitutes, but we trade the best years of our lives to our employers, doing tons of stuff we don't want to do, sometimes things we really don't want to do, to make a living. Is that healthy or unhealthy? Personally, I believe that there is enough grace in the world that you do not have to work a job that you hate. There's enough opportunity to find something better. But at the same time, we can't start on the top most of the time in this world. We have to pay our dues. We may start out in menial jobs, and it may be our good attitude in those jobs that help lead to better jobs. I believe strongly in what is termed growing where you are planted. In life, if life put you in a certain spot, then that is probably the perfect spot for you right now. Do what you can to the best of your ability, right where you are, and with a good attitude. This opens doors and is a productive and healthy way to live. Now life may move you on, hopefully up. But it will be clear when this is the time. Sometimes we want to promote ourselves, but life is not yet ready to promote us. This is where a lot of our aggravation in life may emanate. If we spend as much energy trying to do a good job in the job we were in as trying to get out of it, promoting being in it, then our future might be much brighter indeed. But this can feel like a challenge, sometimes, even often, to do. That is why it is also famously said that a person's attitude determines their altitude. Gratefulness is an incredible fruit of the spirit, a major contributor to success. As an entrepreneur, I see that the greatest predictor of employee success, not just with me, but overall, is helpfulness and attitude. We all think we're great, and we are all great in terms of our value, but many of us also feel that we're too great for this or that. Certainly, we should maintain a high personal standards, but we also, if we want to be optimally successful, should not think that we are all that and be too easily offended. Those people do not seem to catch nearly as many of those quote-unquote lucky breaks that successful people generally do. It may seem like people are denying us resources, but often people are just the medium for life. Sometimes we want the promotion, parentheses, occupation, relationship, family or otherwise, as the parentheses, but we are not yet ready for it. Joyce Meyer has a famous, fantastic expression. Quote, sometimes we want life to change our circumstances, but sometimes life uses our circumstances to change us. End of quote. Hear, hear. If we hold a beneficent attitude towards life, then life is more beneficent. I can't prove it, but try being hostile to everyone that you meet and see how far that it gets you.